Hi guys, it's Bo. So this is gonna be my first ever monthly parable. This is gonna be a new thing for me. In one of my other videos I talked about this concept of reading the same parable once a month for 6 months. That means reading the same parable 6 times, once per month. And I was thinking I should probably try to do that myself as well. And the goal with this monthly parable challenge is to show how God can use the same parable over and over again, and how parables are written in a way that you should be able to interpret it in a new way every time you read it. But before we get into it, then if you want to try this as well, then grab your Bible and find the Bible verse with me, and then write in the comments what God spoke to you about through this parable. The parable for the next 6 months are going to be the Good Samaritan. We find the Good Samaritan in Luke chapter 10, and I'm going to read from verse 29 through 37. But wanting to justify himself, he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down the road, and when he saw him, he passed by the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, while traveling, came near him, and he saw him. He was moved with pity. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, having poured oil and wine on them. Then he put him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said, 'Take care of him, and when I come back I will repay whatever more you spent.' Which of these 3 do you think was a good neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers?" He said, "The one who showed him mercy." Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." Well, now the big question is, what spoke to me when I read it this time? And why did that particular thing speak to me in a way this time? But what spoke to me was that I could kind of relate with the Levite and the priest. I know if you ever tried to have a plan, you maybe need to get somewhere, maybe even on the way to church. And on the way to church you get a call. Someone needs your help. Or someone maybe just needs someone to talk to right in this moment. Well, I can imagine how the priest and Levite probably were kind of annoyed at the traveler who have gotten robbed and beaten up. So annoyed, in fact, that they really didn't want to look at it and they walked to the other side. But that's at least what is speaking to me, that they were probably annoyed, because I feel annoyed sometimes when people are in need of my help and I'm not ready to give it. And it's funny because I could just have said, "No, I don't want to help you right now. I don't have time to speak on the phone. I don't have time to come and help you with your car," whatever it can be. But I get annoyed. I even get angry with the ones who need my help, because now it's their fault that they're putting me in a guilt trip. Rather just pass by on the other side so I don't see it. Or so I can act like I didn't see it. And I don't think that I'm necessarily a bad person per se, but I think the reason that this speaks to me in this moment is because I feel challenged to receive more of God's grace and mercy so I can give that on to other people. And I know in my heart that sometimes I'm too fixated on how I want this life and this world to be. So I'm not open for God's interruptions. So that's kind of the parable for me this time. I honestly relate a bit too much with the priest and the Levite, and I imagine them being annoyed at this guy. And realizing that has put light on some stuff in my heart that I need to pray on, that I need to talk with God on, talk with some other people about, and figure out. So this exercise has been super helpful actually. Hopefully it has been for you as well. If it has, leave a like, and may God bless your journey.